Hello, it's Danielle Fishel.
Ryder Strong.
And Will Friedle from Pod Meets World.
Does friendly have a taste? If it does, it's probably like Hello's peppermint-flavored anti-plaque and whitening toothpaste.
Brush away plaque, show tartar who's boss, and remove surface stains to naturally whiten.
Hello's thoughtful and flavor-forward products make brushing your teeth feel like a confetti-filled bathroom dance party.
So say hello to Hello with the always cruelty-free, never tested on animals toothpaste that's made to spread smiles.
Visit HelloProducts.com and let Hello add some everyday yay into your life.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
I promise you, this is not a political podcast.
Jump from the deep end of the pool, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. Paranoi Radio, set up the mood. 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 Set up the mood.
Freaking Wi-Fi is acting retarded. But regardless of the Wi-Fi and the obstacles, and that it's a little mushy Monday, we're going to make deposits into the bank of knowledge. Welcome back to Paranoi Radio podcast, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am Trebles Garcia, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Guys, we have an amazing episode lined up for all of you guys, and this is the best show with the best content for the best listeners. Guys, I want to remind you that the most important thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. Check us out at ParanoiRadio.com. Check out the affiliations with Flavors of the Forest. It's the best garlic dust in town. I want to say in the country, in the Western Hemisphere, and I put that on everything. That is right. Make sure you check them out and get 15% discount on your next purchase at Flavors of the Forest using Paranoi. No D, we got enough D to go around. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listener of the week, I forgot to pull him out. I'm trying to get back into the swing, guys. Oh, while I'm doing that, I want you guys to go check out the YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'm going to say it one more time. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out the YouTube channel. If you haven't already been there, go check it out today and tell your friends about it. Tell your ugly cousin about it. Your fine-ass cousin about it. Your ugly auntie. Your sticky auntie. Your fat auntie. Tell all your aunties. Tell all your cousins about it. Tell your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, and all that good stuff. Make sure you check on your bullies also. Dudes' lives matter. Guys, the next episode is, this episode is amazing, and I want to dedicate this episode to what's it? Down the Rabbit Hole. Down the Rabbit Hole is a good friend of mine. We actually did an episode. This episode goes out to you. He's been engaging. He's been listening to the show and has been, he's dropping bombs of knowledge, and he's also hardworking out there. Mad shout outs to Down the Rabbit Hole. He sticks to paranormal activity stuff, so make sure you check out if you're into the dark stuff. And moving into the Halloween series and Halloween theme parks and the Halloween stuff that's coming right up, he is a perfect source of energy and perfect source of information. Check out Down the Rabbit Hole. Thank you so much, dude. This episode goes out to you. Let's jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the freaking mood. My next special guest has been here before. He's taken it over. In fact, you know what? When we were talking, it's funny that we were mentioning some creepy stuff. The Wi-Fi turned off. We had a shout down of energy that day, and then we kept it going. It's beautiful. Make sure you guys check him out. And also, mad shout outs, give a warm welcome to Cesar Pagan from Beyond the Frequency 369 podcast. What's up, bro?
Angel, I appreciate you having me on the show, dude. Your intros are beast, man. I don't know if you took a breath, man, but you did.
I stuttered a couple of times. I mean, I did. Usually when I don't stutter, is because I have the flow going, you know. But yeah, it is. It is. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I try hard. I used to try a lot harder before, but you know, I'm also how do you say that? Schizophrenic. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but I have a beaner ass accent, and I have voices in my head that are talking at the same time as I'm talking, fighting each other. So sometimes I gotta step back. But Beyond the Frequency, dude, you are feeling it, bro. We just got off from talking some badass vibes, some good stuff, some future talks about your show. You're doing an amazing job out there. You're consistent. You're creative. You're kicking ass. You got the right freaking mood. You got the right freaking tone, and you got the right freaking voice, and you also have amazing connections, bro. Before anything, where can people find you?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So basically, you can start off on my website, beyondthefrequency369.com. It's got all my links there. I'm available YouTube, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Spotify, all that good stuff. So yeah,
I try and make sure you check them out. Beyond the Frequency 369. Can you do this for me one time? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I freaking love it, dude. All right, guys.
I do like Batman. I do like Batman. I got him all over my
You're a
office and
Batman
stuff.
dude.
Yeah,
I'm more of a I'm more of a Vader guy. Like I freaking love Vader. Who would win, Vader or Batman? That's a good one because Batman is
They
that
had a
one
meme.
dude.
Yeah, they had a meme with Vader and Batman in a subway cart, and I think they said Batman only because Batman always he never goes into a fight without being prepared.
Mm.
So that's where I would lean to,
I
obviously.
would have to. I would have to. You know, it's funny. I know Vader. I know how Anakin is. This mother trucker would die on that hill, regardless if he's on his knees, burnt up, or cyborg, or chopped in half. He's gonna die on that hill. So his determination alone gets an A+ for performance. And aura. He's such an aura dude. He walks with this cape, right? He has aura.
Yeah,
He does, just the presentation alone is like, damn, dog.
yeah,
But Batman is a human being with access to all that knowledge and knowing that he's so fragile that you could just crush him, right?
yeah. Yeah.
No, just that also gives him aura itself. Like that's like, dude, but that's also Batman. I don't know, bro. It's a
Yeah.
tight. I don't want to say Vader
Well,
would lose,
he
but
he carries like he's the peak of physical human excellence. You know, he's physically fit, super intelligent. Like he's up there, you know, the best of the best of the humans. That's the idea that they put behind him. But then he's like, I need something more, a little ingredient. So he puts on the Dark Knight suit, and
it talks like this.
yeah, right. He's Batman, right? And he just, I don't know, he just displays that presence that he needs, So yeah, he's a cool
Demands
character.
attention, demands respect.
Attention.
Yeah,
There it is.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh man, yo, the Batman and the aura talk and the Vader talk, which is important, bro. And we're gonna jump into frequencies. I like that because you have to be attuned to a type of frequency to bring that energy out, to present yourself in that way, to be likable. To be like, I mean, to build community around yourself, right? To have, for example, yourself, you're building a beautiful community around you, and networking and people that are, speaking highly of you and everything. That is 50% of what we do. We could do all the research in the world. We could have the nice, fancy stuff in the background. I don't, but you do. All that stuff. But the other 50% of who do you know that can say high things about you? That tomorrow they'll be blown up and they'll say, "Hey, I know that guy. That guy's amazing. Give him a shot," or et cetera, and et cetera. It's who you know at the end of the day, right? So 50% of what we do is community, bro. Community and building a empire of loyalty, friendship. But in order to get to that point, you have to have some type of frequency. Consistency is another one. You have to be tapped into a sober thought, a sober mind, sober patterns, into research, not just regurgitating everything that you hear. It's very important, bro. And originality, you mentioned something right before we started the conversation in the show. You said, what is it that sets you apart? And I've thought about that so many times, bro. What sets me apart? And now that you're in the game, because you're also Latino, right? I know we're in here. We're one of the few that are in here together. But what sets me apart? I'm freaking bilingual. I could do this in Spanish and English, backwards and frontwards, all day, every day, baby. You see what I'm saying? And I'm bald. I have a thick accent, and I'm tatted up. I set the tone for something different. You see what I'm saying? That's my niche. That's where I'm going. You get the fruits of your labor. That's what it is, right? So I dive into that. That's what I do, bro. And I'm freaking loud. My name is Trebles, goddammit. You see what I'm saying? That's me, bro. So you have to, what is it about you that's going to impact people's lives, not just for entertainment, but also what kind of fruit and what kind of energy are you going to bring forth? How are you going to be a positive influence? This influence, all types of influence around the freaking planet, bro. This is everything that we consume is a portion of influence by Satan or the enemy, whoever you want to call it, dark energies, entities that are trying to bring you down and keep you at a low frequency every single day. So how are you next? What are you doing next that puts you at that high frequency? Beyond that frequency 369, I'm Batman.
I love it. First of all, I gotta give you kudos to your energy, man. I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. My response to that question is just be my authentic self. If I don't need a gimmick. You know, I don't need to say like, how's this person doing it? How can I up them, one up them and things like that. It doesn't work for me. So I know who I truly am out, beyond the meat suit. And I'm me, right? I know that's kind of general and kind of cliche, but to be your authentic self and to live in your authentic truth is the best way that you'll be able to resonate your energy louder and farther. So,
yeah, man. What's next for the show, bro? What are you cooking? You don't have to tell me all your secrets, but what have you learned? Basically, what I'm asking for is in the next 30 minutes of the conversation, what have you learned? What was the last piece of information that you were like, whoa, we got to share this with the world?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just released today a new episode with a Dr. Kat Lewis, PhD. She was a biochemist, and then she quit that job and she now does fundamental science. But the main thing is that we actually met because she talks about the unified field. This is something that Albert Einstein was trying to solve. And we had a great conversation, and she just blew my mind, adding on to what I already knew. But she added some science to it that was kind of interesting. And she made me think about, we had a lot of conversations regarding mindsight, which is something that I can do. I don't know if you know what mindsight is, but mindsight is the ability to see without your physical eyes. So I wear a blindfold and I can see, right? And then I'm an outer body explorer. So I leave my body and I explore. So we had that conversation, and she talked about what she knows about the unified field. And one thing that she mentioned was she used an example of dreams. She says that when you dream, you're in there and you have no conscious awareness of what's happening outside, and like outside of your dream. So the only reality that exists is your dream, right? So when you're in there, everything that you're touching, the people that you're talking to, the situation, that's real, right? But then when you wake up, that reality that was the dream goes away. But where does it go? It goes back into you, right? So
Shut the front door.
you created that whole experience, and then you switch consciousness, and that whole universe, however far that you went in that dream, comes back right into you. And then you wake up. I put that in air quotes, right? And now you're consciously awake, right? Now this reality that we're sitting in right now, having this podcast, is this the dream? It's like so we have this idea that we live in this dualistic reality, that everything is separated. Like that microphone in front of you is separated from you, the chair, the TV, the room, you and I. We think that everything is separated from us. We believe that all that exists is the body, and everything else is separate from the body. But then that puts into question, going back to the dream idea, that whole entire universe, every physical thing that you touched there and interacted with, the experiences, the emotion, all that was a part of you. You created that in a different state of mind, in a different frequency. So when we had this conversation, we just kind of pretty much figured out that this reality that this conscious awareness that we're on right now, this is also a dream too. It's just, there's a couple of different rules in it, but it's still a dream. So instead of living a dualistic reality, we actually should be living everything's one. Everything's one. Doesn't matter when you change the channel, it's all coming from one station, and that's you.
Two questions. First one would be, where does lucid dreaming fit in that equation? And then second, everybody that's involved in your current dream, not this one, the one when you're asleep, air quotations.
Right.
Everybody in there, are they all sentient? Are they all part of other dreams connected into are you part of a general dream? Is it a general realm where all the dreams connect and everybody's dreaming at the same time? We're all is it, or Those two questions.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a great question. So let's go with the lucid dream one first, right? The lucid dream, it is, we consider right now that we're awake, right? We're conscious, right? But when we're sleeping, we think that we're awake too, though, right? You know, there's a different type of awareness. So when you're lucid dreaming, you're waking up in that dream state, in that world. So what is lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is just a partial awareness. That's all it is. Partial consciousness, right? Because when you're sleeping, you're in your subconscious phase, as they describe it and everything. But I think you're always awake. You're always experiencing, right? Like the soul never sleeps. Okay. The only thing that actually goes to lays in bed is your body. Your body needs to rest, right? It gets worn out. It needs maintenance. It needs to recharge. Well, your soul's like, I don't need to recharge. I'm eternal. I'm immortal. So it's still experiencing. So, and then the other question was, what's all of these things, all these people, inside the dream? I think there are also other beings, other versions. Like, for example, let's say you had dreams of your family, right? Your wife and your kids and everything stuff. There's other versions of your wife and your kids throughout the what Marvel calls the multiverse, right?
Word.
There's different dimensional spaces, different parallel universes. There's different versions of you, so you're just either stepping into another version of you, experiencing that world, taking a peek, having a moment while your body here is sleeping. Your soul's like, well, I need to go somewhere. I need to go do stuff. It's always creating. We're creator beings. So it steps into one of infinite different possibilities of what Angel could be doing with his family. You probably had dreams where you were in your house, but it wasn't really your actual house, but it felt familiar in that dream state. That's just another version of your house that you would have had if you took a different path, So I think it's all real. And that's my response to it. I think your dream state is all real. And one last comment to add to wrap this comment up is the Dogon tribe in South, Asia. When you ask them, what do they consider this reality? They call it sleepy time. They believe this is a dream, and they are, and they know, like in their knowing, they know this is a dream, and they're not connected to the internet. They don't have all these books. They're like a tribe. So that means that the knowledge that's been passed down to them from generation to generation has given that, that idea that this is a dream, and they understand that why.
No comment. You know why I stayed quiet? Because I was thinking while you were talking. I've noticed. So we did just recently. I dropped the episode I dropped last night. Actually, I dropped it. It wasn't one of my best episodes, but it was a research dump that I had to do before I forgot it, so that I could move on. Because sometimes I go on these deep dives and I have all my notes and I'm like, I'm gonna shoot it, and I never get to it. So I was like, on Thursday I'm gonna do this, and I did it an hour and 30 minutes, and I dove into it. I spit it out and I dropped it as an episode. I was like, here's a bonus, right? All my info's there. And I noticed that there is specific patents, and now I'm gonna get a little conspiratorial because I am paranoid. At the end of the day, it's Paranoi Radio. The government has, not at the government alone, the elites, I want to say, is dark energies, have patent machines, have patent technologies, have weaponized liquid crystal technology, have weaponized our energy, have weaponized frequencies, music, religion, everything I consume. And I'm not a black pill person here, guys. I believe in hope, but I do know also that in the world that we live in, everything that we consume and everything that we do, everything that we interact with, even this freaking computer and this everything, this realm, it's meant to engage with me. And I mean, I'm sorry, for me to engage with you, but it's also meant for it to engage with me, to read my patterns, to see what I like, to see what dopamine levels hits when there's ass shaking on TikTok, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just giving you an example because we're men. That's basically, if I have to get If I'm going to get distracted by anything, it's either going to be a conspiracy theory or it's going to be some ass. That's all it is, guys. Disrespectfully, not respectfully, or the other way around, guys. I'm sorry. It's the truth. That's why I always say you got to take the time to research yourself. But the point is, there's so many weaponized technologies that we consume on an everyday basis that allows them to control our emotions, energy, charged up emotions, thought patterns, and dreams. Going back to the dream. So when you are having a nightmare, for example, and you just said it was a reality, and you don't want to be in that reality, let's hypothetically say that you have the power or intent, willpower to control that lucid dream, and you're in you're trying to remove yourself from that space. Why did your brain trigger that reality? Like, if you said that's just something bad. It could happen for something good too, but why did that happen? You fell asleep, it started, and now, for example, I'm a avid lucid dreamer. I just get exhausted when I do it. I don't like doing it. And most of the times when I do it, it's to defend myself inside the dream, not because I want to take control and I don't like that. I don't want to evoke anything, and I'm not saying I'm cursed or I'm talented, none of that. I just know that I can do it, and I get exhausted when I do it. A week ago, this is what happened to me. On Wednesday, I couldn't sleep, bro. I couldn't sleep. Tuesday, I couldn't sleep. So I had 2 nightmares. Saturday night, I had the same nightmare. Why did that nightmare come in? Why did it start? And right when I found out that it's the nightmare, I'm like, oh, it's this fucking dream. So then I took over the dream. I'm like, okay, I'm going to defend myself with the same thing I did last time to wake myself up, to wake up and not have the rest of this play out. Because that was a recurring dream. It wasn't like it. This is funny. I've always had lucid dreams that it starts, and when I wake up, I could go back in, fall asleep, and then restart it right where I left off. This one didn't go that way. This one was weird. This one, it started back from the beginning. If I would wake up the next day, I fell asleep, it starts back at the beginning, almost like a replay. Why? Why that reality?
Why that reality? So one is, I don't have nightmares anymore. I haven't had nightmares in years. The reason that you're getting these nightmares is because there's obviously something that you still need to work through, right? Your mind doesn't shut off when you go to sleep. We all know that. You know, it keeps solving problems. When you are shutting down the body to go into your delta waves and you're sleeping, your body, your mind is now taking those day-to-day issues and it's trying to work it out somehow. And it works it through these dreams. Okay. So then hopefully it'll influence you in some kind of fashion. So when you wake up, you can actually act on it. Okay. So the one thing that I always, try to tell folks that they try to work on getting rid of is fear and loss. If you get rid of the feeling of fear, like you're scared of things, and that feeling of loss, like I'm gonna lose this if I don't do that, or something, something is gonna hurt me, I'm gonna lose my life, or I'm gonna lose things, like those two things. That's why you're getting nightmares. Well, you realize that when you wake up and you dream, you realize that you have control over your thought forms and everything within it. It's all coming from you. It's just you projecting it in a different manner. You're projecting your universe outward. So everything that you see around you, when you look around your room, that's because you're projecting that, right? Even me, I told you in the last podcast that we had that I'm just another version of you talking back to you. When you ask me a question, I'm answering it, but I'm you answering it. I'm telling you what you need to see. And so we're built a certain way, so you don't go crazy, right? You have to manifest somebody like myself in this case to receive that information, so it'll make
be beyond the frequency.
To be beyond their frequency, right? So you need somebody. So and it's not just me. How many times have you had people that just approached you in your life, said something to you, and then just left, never saw them again, right? That's because you needed to hear whatever that message was, and you manifested that individual or that reason or that situation so you can receive it. If not, then you'd be like a medium or a channeler where you're receiving it somehow. But if you're not that, then you have to receive that message somehow, right? So you do it through physical actions and things like that.
I thought it was all because I've been getting too close to the conspiracies and stuff, that they were using my guns, my TV and my phone to hack into my low frequency delta pattern waves and then just attack this mother trucker. I thought I was getting attacked. I was paranoid.
No, you're not getting attacked. Nothing can hurt you unless you allow it to be so. Okay. All right. You remember I've mentioned to you briefly, and even I do it on my podcast. You are an omnipotent being, man. You are more powerful than you want to give yourself credit, but some people are more their attention is mostly focused on the meat suit, right? I am the body, but you're not the body on him. You're borrowing it so you can have this experience, right? You're taking it for a test drive. You're checking out, how does it feel to do this and do that? But once you're done, once your soul is done, body's done. You got what you need and you keep on going. You've always existed and you always will exist. That's all that you do. You just exist and you experience. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, the universe experiencing itself, we said on the last episode.
Subjectively. Yeah, absolutely.
That's badass, man. That's badass. Yeah, man, I thought I was getting attacked and paranoid and stuff, and it's a nutcase, bro. Yeah, man.
I mean, you probably are because you think you are.
Whoa, the reflection of me.
Yeah.
Whoa, look. Yeah. I created that scenario.
Yeah, you're like, let me give you this example. How many times, at some point in your life, and it goes back to the name of your podcast being paranoid. Have you been paranoid like, fuck, everybody's watching me and blah blah blah, right? But no one's watching you. No one's watching you. But you feel like it is, right? And that experience, that reality becomes it. And everybody around you is telling you, on here, relax, everything's cool, nobody's whatever. But you're like, no, I feel it. That's a perfect example of how you create your reality, right?
Yeah, when I used to do drugs, man, I'm telling you, when I used to do drugs, no one watched me. No one even thought I was high. But in my head, I was, she's gonna know. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Until hours after of tripping balls, my wife would tell me, "You're high?" I would have just acted regular and nothing would have happened. But because I psyched myself into being paranoid and being she found out. It was my fault. Yeah. And obviously, because I shouldn't be fucking around with stuff, right? So yeah, man. I hear you, bro.
Yeah. So that happens. So if that happens in your conscious awareness, like when you're awake, imagine how much more amplified that is when you're sleeping. There's no limitation there.
There's no limitation because there's no meat suit.
There's no meat suit. Exactly. So you're going from being the awareness that you are, okay, not named Angel. That's not your actual name, right? So let's just call you awareness. So you are this awareness, and when you're in the sleep state, you're aware of everything, every part of you, every version of you, every existence, every atom that is out there of you, every realm, dimension. You are experiencing that. And when the body, like when you charge a Tesla, when it's boom, it's ready to go, come back to the meat suit. Now your attention is not fully, omnipotent awareness. Now it's just focused on one thing, one reality. And you wake up and you're like, well, back to work, man. Compared to who you truly are, this ain't nothing, man. Like in comparison to that. So if you are this larger than life, larger than existence being, right? Then if you are aware of that, then apply that awareness to the right now as you sit there in that chair. And just know that any situation, consider it like Superman and bullets bouncing off of him. Any situation that comes to you, it'll only hurt you. Those bullets will go into your chest if you think they're going to go into your chest. But if not, they're going to go right back out because they're not real. This is your projection. This is your reality.
You bend the universe to where you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because you are the universe. Damn.
Yeah.
Those are deep thoughts, deep conversations, bro. That's beyond the frequency.
That's beyond the frequency, man.
Yeah.
I do. Let me see. Let me show you something here. So
while you're picking that out, I want to remind
ahead.
everybody to make sure you check out Beyond the Frequency 369 on YouTube, on Instagram, and every single thing. The description is going to be in the show, guys. And if you're watching on YouTube today, engage, drop a like, subscribe, and share the episode with somebody like-minded. Remind you guys that the most important thing that you could do for the show today is word of mouth. That's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to take over the world, Pinky.
I love you, man.
Right.
You're awesome. So look, I have a blindfold, right? And the reason it's important for me to also share my side is because this ability activated for me from leaving my body. Every time I left my body and I came back, my frequency elevated. Okay, so you bring back particular awareness and you raise your frequency a little bit higher. So this, I'm gonna do my best while we're on camera to just show that this is a blackout sleep mask. Okay, there's no holes in it. This is like when you want to go to sleep on a bright day, you wear this. I'm gonna cover the. You see that? That's
absolutely
black.
black.
I'll put that there too. Black, right? I mean, it's there's no light. Your eyes go inside here and everything. All right, so you see that's there, and then this is easy, right? We have cards here, right? And you're gonna also you're gonna hold up stuff on your end too, so that way it's not like anything that's been pre-planned or anything. But it's important for people to be aware that this is a thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle it right here in front of you, and then I'm gonna put it down. Okay. All right, just whatever in case it's
I've seen you do this on one of your videos you sent me, and it tripped me the hell out, bro.
So I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually put this down right here. Okay. Boom. Take off my hat here for a second. I can put this on. So again, right? Okay. All right. So can you see me? Yep.
Yep. We're good.
All right. So what I'm just going to try to do, what's the mic right here? Okay. What I'm going to try to do is I'm just going to lift these up from the top, put it back here, and let's see, right? So for example, upside down green triangle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Upside down red triangle.
Yeah.
What's that? Feeling like a yellow triangle.
Yeah.
Okay. The yellow one's a little bit different because of my light here and stuff. Square.
Negative.
Circle yellow.
All
right, appreciate that. Appreciate the assistance. Green circle. Blue circle.
Get the freak out, man.
Blue triangle. Blue square. And we'll do one more. What's that? Like a green circle, maybe? No?
It's green.
It's a green square. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I lose the edges. So you want to hold up something on your desk and see if I.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's a little pyramid.
How the hell do you know it's a pyramid?
Little copper or something pyramid.
It is copper. Yeah.
Got anything else?
That's it. Yeah, I could do with something else.
Do one more. Just.
This one has to throw you off.
It's like a stone, like a black stone or something.
It is a stone.
I'm not sure what kind of, but it's it's like a nice, smooth little oval stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So there you go.
How do you do that? That is amazing.
So hold on real quick. Put my head
Wow.
back on.
Yeah, what I showed you first was my little creator. Somebody gifted me some.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
what's it called, orgonite, and then
Yeah.
somebody gifted me these stones too. And I was like, oh, that's my fidget toy when I'm talking. So I was like,
Yeah. Do you know what kind of stone that is by chance or
no,
anything?
I
Or?
don't. I forgot the name of it, but it was a set of 7, I guess, for your chakras.
Okay.
I have the other ones
Okay.
on my job, but this one was like my favorite one because it's like as big as my hand. So I
Yeah.
kept it here in my room, and the other ones are my job. I don't know what they do.
Yeah.
They look pretty.
Hey, if they make you feel a certain way, then that's all you need to know.
Word,
So,
word.
so mind sight is the ability to see without your physical eyes. Now, I'm nobody more special than you are. Okay. So I was on the other end too, where I was putting on these masks and sitting in the dark like for months. What am I doing? And I realized that to fast forward and everything stuff is that my belief that I could do this wasn't there. There was some skepticism,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So I can only see through a dark, and I could put towels over my head and all that good stuff. I can only do this because I strongly, strongly believe I have let go of that belief that I can't. Okay.
Mhm.
And part of that also was helpful with the whole leaving the body thing. The things that I've seen outside the body kind of ends all conversation. you know,
Mhm.
when you can step out of your body and look back and do a quick check and see your body laying in bed, I mean, can't nobody talk to me about anything outside of that. Like that's end of conversation.
Mhm.
Religion, whatever. Like, you know. But yeah, so doing that activated this. So that's how I do it. I guess I also figured out through further research is I don't think we actually just see through our physical eyes. I think we also see through our skin. Yeah. I think we see through our skin. It's science calls it dermal vision. What it is that your eyes, the way that you see things is because you have to absorb light, right?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
have to absorb light to then be able to project it out. Well, what else absorbs light? Our skin.
That's huge, bro.
Okay. So you have people with the mindset ability that I've talked to and I've seen and I've worked with who's opened up their what we call our windows, because that's what I'm looking through a window on their fingertips, on their elbows. When I go back here, it's behind my ear. People on their feet, like it doesn't matter where your sight opens, what your mind is saying when you close it out is saying, oh, okay, he can't see with his eyes, but he still wants to see, right? That intention is still in there. He
So
still
you
wants to see. So your soul, your mind, whatever you want to call it, will find a way. And it found a way.
It's
So
huge, bro. That is huge. But the
yeah.
biggest portion of that is into the placebo effect type of thing. I call it placebo. You have to believe you can.
Yeah. You have to believe the moment, and that's the part that's hard to get over
Yeah. The
because you
skepticism and
can
stuff.
you can through your mouth you can say, oh, I believe all day, I believe, but you can't lie to yourself, right? Somewhere in the back of your mind it's like so I actually trained. I was training wrong incorrectly months ago. When I put my eyes in here, I close my eyes. And the reason that's wrong is because you should open your eyes. Why do you think that is? Let me ask you that.
Because it'll trick your brain into saying your eyes are open, you can see. And it'll block
Exactly.
any obstacle. You're
Exactly.
bending the matrix, bro. That's what you're doing, bro.
Exactly. No, you nailed it. So I started keeping my eyes open under the mask, telling my eyes that or my mind that yeah, it's dark, but I want to see some. So my mind's like, oh, okay, cool. We'll figure it out. So it started off like twinkling stars, little flashes here. Your mind's trying to figure out how do I do this? Because I'm 43 years old. In this 43-year-old body, I've never been taught. We don't get taught these things, right? So our mind is figuring it out for itself. How do I do this? But in the process of learning how to do it, it then begins to remember how to do it. Because
That muscle memory.
I've always known this. Well, my soul has always done this. It has always done this. I mean, again, like we talked about regarding the dream, when you close your eyes and you go down to that delta state, you create a whole universe, multiple universe. Science says you dream about 7 dreams a night, something like that. You create universes, physical objects, people, situations, feelings. You've probably lost people in your dreams where you cried and stuff. Where else do you do that? You do that.
I've had dreams where it felt so real. When I woke up in this reality, I had to go back and remember who I was in this reality because my brain was still stuck
over there.
Because my emotions, at least.
Your emotions. But see, that's what we are. Awareness. We're just emotion. We're just a feeling. Okay. This is why in your dream, when's the last time you remember in your dream that you actually talked with your mouth? Have you ever focused on people? Have you actually really talked to them? It's intuitive,
almost telepathy. Like if it's happening,
almost telepathy. Right. They're there. Things are happening, but there's no like you and I right now talking is the most crudest way to communicate. You and I have to think, formulate our words, fix our tones, find the right enunciation. Then we have to take these electrical pulses in our brains that end up going back to our muscles here. Our muscles have to then vibrate a certain particular way. Then using our tongue, we create these cymatic frequencies, so it comes down in the air. So we move all the waves and the molecules here outside of us to then come back into our ear, have our ear, I think it's called our silica and everything, to pick up all that vibration to then turn it back into an electricity and to go back to their brain to say, oh, I just heard myself. That's a lot. That's a lot just to communicate, right? So yeah, we're doing things backwards out here.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
2 things right before we end the show.
Yep.
I mentioned this a long time ago on the show before, but I have mentioned it. I used to have telepathy with my ex. My ex and I would, she's a great human being. We have history and spent 7 years with her. And I've learned I don't know if you probably know because experienced man, you got kids. As men, we learn to love specifically women differently. The mother of my kids, my wife, my current wife, my ex, everybody has, my mom, my sisters, everybody has a different type of love and status in their love, right? So in her time, when her and I were very physically and emotionally close, we would have full-on sentence conversations. Like she would tell me like that, just look at me. And I'll be across the room in the middle of the friggin' function or eating with my family, whatever. She'll tell me something and I'll look at her and we just stare. And I'm like, I'll go like I'll nudge at her and she'll know like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did you just hear me? And she's like, yeah, we'll go back into my room. And like, I cannot believe that happened. She's like, I'm not high. I'm not drunk. We had to be sober, obviously, but it happened. So I believe 1,000 with the deepest, darkest, wettest, stinkiest corners of my heart. I believe it, that telepathy is a real freaking thing. And what you just said, that we're ass backwards out here, is 100% accurate, bro.
Yeah.
But, big but, I have to add this portion to it because I'm paranoid. People have utilized it, have weaponized it, and are keeping you docile so that you don't tap into it any longer or stronger. Our ancestors were tapped into it. It's in our bloodline. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA. There's a reason why we have been dormant in those talents for a very long time. It's because they have been hidden from us and knowledge and all that stuff. Now that's because I'm just Paranoi Radio. That's why I'm saying everything is a conspiracy. But beyond that, bro, I want you to tell me again one more time, tell the world where they can find you one more time.
Yeah, beyondthefrequency369.com. You guys can mostly find me on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. Give me a shout out. And I also, if I can plug in, I actually have a new book that I just wrote. It's for children's. It's called Cesar's Chronicles: The Anunnaki and Us, and it's just basically another alternate idea of how man was created. And the story is told by a young kid named Cesar, who's actually my son. That's his name. So I put him in the book there. But it's very interesting. So if you guys go on Amazon, check it out. I would appreciate that. Thanks.
That's right. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before I leave, you know your last name is Pagan, right?
Pagan, yeah.
Yeah. You know what Pagan is, right? Pagano?
That's, well, Filipino. That's Pagano. So that's what I heard with the O, right? Are you talking about
it's what's meant. So pagans used to not work. It's basically everything that's not Christian, basically. Every other knowledge, everything else except for Christianism. Not that you're an atheist or anything, and quite frankly, religion to me it's BS also. Like I believe in Jesus, but I don't believe the man-made stuff. It's all energetic freaking harvesting. That's all it is. But yeah, man, you're interesting last name. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you check out Beyond the Frequency 369. Drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. That allows other people to enjoy the show as much as I enjoy making it. Peace. That was awesome.